couldn't tell if it was the boat there. I was reeling that in. That was insane. There's one. Well, he felt like it. Got him. I'm sure this time. Oh boy. Stay down. Stay down. There we go. There we go. That's 7 plus. It looks it. Yes. There we go. Boom. Look at that. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Double F Outdoors, guys. We're back again. My wife, I don't know if she's in the shot, but she's over here yawning. Guys, we're on the way home from our trip and our series of blue line fishing. Unfortunately, it is over. Sad. Mary did not make as many of the videos as I thought she would, but she was here the whole time.
I was.
This video is kind of like the recap or the unwind. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video so far. I've loved this trip. Blue Line and I are already in contact, and our family friends have already said that we can come back whenever we want. And, we definitely want to come back next year and do this again, don't we? I want to. Blue Line and I have been talking about it a lot, and so you guys got to see at the end of his videos, last video about his Ripjaw Lure stuff that he does, his Ripjaw Lure company. And I just want to talk about that a little bit. I'll link the Instagram, their Instagram account below. I am a proud member of the Ripjaw team, aren't I? I am a proud member of the Ripjaw team. I use his spinner baits. We've been in a lot of contact, so I'm gonna start using his spinner baits. It makes a really good product. You saw some of those fish he caught on his spinner baits. Catches them year round on spinner baits. We heard about some of his techniques. I might cut that footage in here in a second. But guys, go check his stuff out. It's really nicely priced. The rod socks, $5. The spinner baits are $5 a piece. You can do any blade combination, any skirt color. He's got the Dirty Water series that he does. You know, so it makes a really good lure. If you go to that Instagram account, you can actually see a lot of the fish that have been caught in Ripjaw lures. He has a lot of guys use them in tournaments. He actually fished semi-pro with his own stuff for a long time. So he's a great guy, really good guy. He has a great company, really high quality products. They don't break. My dad's had some of this stuff for several years now, and they last and they hold up. So, and the good thing about those rod socks, I'm gonna talk about those real quick, is he can get those at any length you want. So you can literally measure exactly where you want that rod sock to end, and they will custom make them to that size. So just really cool. And also go watch the last video and go towards the end where he really talks about it. He talks about it a lot, about his stuff and the way he uses it. So you're gonna be seeing a lot more of Ripjaw stuff on the channel, because we're gonna use his spinner baits from now on, because I like my Strike Kings and I like my Booyahs, but the pictures I've seen and just from fishing with him on this trip, I've definitely seen his stuff work. And go check his stuff out, guys. You're not gonna want to regret it. Lots of cool pictures. But let's talk about the fishing. Let's talk about the fishing yesterday, because it was a little different. You know, we talked in the prep video, and Blue Line and I even talked yesterday when we got off the water. We were for sure set that it was going to be a nice topwater bite, and it just wasn't. The topwater bite was not there. I had one little hit come. He didn't get it or anything. He just kind of pecked at it, and I wouldn't have even gotten him anyway. My line was over a stump, but just that was all we had, and we didn't fish with it very much because we just could tell pretty early they weren't there. There were fish rolling on the top of the water. It was kind of a shallower body of water. They were rolling, so you could see them kind of swell, but they weren't like hitting anything on the top. So just a different day. You know, we thought that was it, and then, you know, obviously you saw in the video, we were trying to find the pattern, like in the videos. What was the pattern? Where are they? What are they doing? And we even talked afterwards. We never really found a pattern. The bass here have already moved out of spawn and moving into that kind of tougher early summer bite where they move into deep water as it gets hot. We never had issues finding a bite, kind of a thing. Like, you know, there'd be 20-30 minutes where we didn't catch anything, but then we'd rattle off a couple quick fish. So nothing really consistent. The one thing we did notice was that most of the fish we caught were at drop-offs or the valleys of this hump that they had. So kind of the lower spots of the lake, they were really hitting them. He was catching them on that rattle trap, pulling them through those valleys or bouncing them off the humps or stuff like that. I had a couple fish on a rattle trap, but I caught most of mine on that Missile Baits D-bomb, just, you know, pitching it and dropping it on these humps and these valleys and these drops, and that's really where the bass were hitting. You saw that really nice one that Blue Line got. That was a really pretty fish. It was a fantastic fish, and that was something else we talked about too. Yesterday we had a heck of a day. You know, we caught a couple small ones, but we had a lot of keepers, both of us, and we talked that if we'd been in a team tournament, we would have killed it. But also, if we'd been fishing by ourselves in a tournament, would have been doing just as well. I was missing that kicker. You know, obviously he had that 6.5, but lots of really nice sized fish that were like, you know, kind of 2 to 3 pounds. It was just a different day of fishing, I'll say that. We were out there for, well, how long was I gone? Like 4 or 5 hours, I think. We were out there for a while, and the bite slowly kind of tapered off as we got to midday, which was expected. But what's really cool, and I'll show you a video now, talking about Ripjaw spinnerbaits, he went later that evening after we had gotten off the water. He went later that evening. And he caught this fish. I'll show it right now. It weighed in really close to what he caught earlier in the day on his actual spinnerbaits. He actually caught that on his spinnerbaits. So the stuff does work. And like I said, go check out the Instagram account, because there's a bunch of stuff. And like I said, I'll link it below. But it was just a really good day. And like we said, next year, we've already talking about when I might try to come. I think we're going to try next year to come a little earlier when they're in the spawn, when the bite's really, really good. He said he's got a couple good lakes where the spawn bite is incredible. So definitely going to do that. So definitely excited about that. But in more exciting news, guys, we are excited to announce that Double F merch is available. Aren't we excited to announce that? She's excited to announce. She's not showing it. Now she's excited. We have Double F merch for you guys. So I'm going to show you guys what the shirts look like in the next video, because I'm going to wear them. I don't have them yet. They're in the process of being made. But in one of the next videos, you'll see me watch them. I'll show them off. We've got white and gray shirts with our normal logo. If you've seen it on our Instagram, it's our long logo. That's the Double F Outdoors. And then we've got black shirts with a smaller logo that is gold hooks. So those are our two kind of main logos. Limited sizes and availability right now. If you want a shirt and we don't have your size, we will definitely make it. But we just made a small sample size to start this off kind of a thing. We didn't want to go in too deep before we sold any. So we got more stuff coming down the line eventually, like hats and sweatshirts and hoodies and stuff like that. But starting with normal t-shirts right now, definitely check that out. Also, guys, make sure you check out Ripjaw spinnerbaits, rod socks. He might have some other products coming in the future. We're not sure. He's waiting to see kind of how his company grows a little bit. But guys, also go check out Blue Line Fishing, because eventually he'll have his footage of the day out. It's just a lot of fun to do that with do this with him, and super thankful that he let me come down. And we're going to try to get him to come up sometime up to Central Illinois maybe and get some big fish. But guys, it was just a really good week, and just like we said, just a different, you know, type of fishing. I punched most of the day, and we were both talking too. It's kind of funny. He's known as a spinnerbait fisherman. I'm known as as kind of a, you know, not even a finesse fisherman, but, you know, flipping pads and flipping cover and kind of trying to find those fish where they're at. So we both caught fish in the way we like to catch them, which was always a lot of fun. So real quick though, to kind of close this video, I'm going to bring back the clip from yesterday's footage of him talking about, well, or the day before, I'm not sure which video it's falling in yet, of him talking about spinnerbait fishing in the summer. And I think this is really key, because something that a lot of people think is spinnerbait fishing and chatterbait fishing are, you know, just springtime fishing techniques, or just fall time fishing techniques, and they work really well in both those times of year. But like I said, you know, he uses it year-round, all the time, but he uses it different ways. So I'm gonna pull that footage out from the day that we were talking about that, and I really want you guys to pay attention. Listen to this tip. This is a huge tip, something I'm gonna start doing, because I normally, as soon as it heats up, I'm frog and flipping cover only type deal. So really make sure that you guys pay attention to this. It's a lot of important information. You're not gonna want to miss it. A lot of cool stuff. And guys, besides that, we're just on our way home, so maybe some footage of us driving in here, which is, I know, so exciting for you guys. But guys, thanks for coming along. We're super excited. Listen to these tips, they're important. And guys, we'll just see you next time. Peace.
Well, here's a question for you then. So like, I throw a spinnerbait or a chatterbait a lot in the spring. You know, and you can do varying speeds, but normally especially early when it's kind of cold, the slower the better.
Right.
So you talked about kind of varying techniques. So like, what do you do in the summer different with your spinnerbait than like, say, the spring?
Right. In the springtime, you know, I'm gonna move that bait slow, like
Yeah.
just barely turning those blades
Mhm.
over. And there are times you're gonna want it faster, but in the summertime, what I usually do is start at the top of the water column. So I'm starting out shallow, and I'm reeling it fast, almost burning that bait underneath it, and then I'll work the water column down on a straight retrieve.
Okay.
And then, if that doesn't start producing fish, then I'll start basically like with a crankbait, a start-stop retrieve,
Okay.
where I'm start, stop.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, then a lot of times I'll go to what's called a yo-yo retrieve. So I'm taking this bait, even if I'm throwing up against timber, I'm gonna let it sink all the way down, just like you are that creature bait.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna work it off the bottom,
Okay.
just like that, just like a creature bait.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm varying I start out varying speed and depth, work the water column down.
Okay.
And then when that doesn't work, then I go to a totally different type of, or if it doesn't work, then I go to a totally different type of retrieve, that being a yo-yo or stop and go. But what I'm trying to always do is fish just like a crankbait or like that bait. It's
Yeah.
a contact bait.
Mhm.
It's meant to run into stuff, bang
Yeah.
into it,
Mhm.
deflect. And a lot of folks, when they fish a spinnerbait, they think it's an open water bait.
Yeah.
It can be, but if you watch the guys who really made their name fishing spinnerbaits, i.e. Jimmy Houston, Roland Martin,
Yeah.
Van Dam, it's complete contact bait. So that's what I do different with mine.
There we go.
Makes it productive for me.